Roll A, take A.
Hello, and thanks for joining us on this edition of the News Feed. I'm Emily Marr.
And I'm Josh Gann. Motion capture technology can be very useful but expensive for physical therapists and related fields. Many offices cannot afford the technology necessary for this type of research and data collection, but Virginia Tech students are working to make this more affordable and accessible. Newsfeed reporter Ben Anderson has more in this report.
Virginia Tech students are on the forefront of biomedical analysis research. The standard research in this field is done by 3D motion capture and is very expensive and difficult to use. These students have developed a code to mimic the results using 2D video, which is a much simpler, cheaper alternative. Senior researcher Maddie Carroll explains the dilemma.
That's the gold standard, but it's really expensive and you can't just pick it up and move it into a lab. And training someone to use it takes a little bit of time. So people that could benefit from having access to it, PT, clinicians, all those folks can't really use it. I like the idea of this being accessible to people that it could help.
The researchers are currently conducting both the 3D and the 2D tests to compare the data side by side to see if they can get the same results. Graduate student Laura Dickerson explains the importance of these tests.
It is important to understand how people move, again, for both injury prevention and injury rehabilitation, and so this is a really important area to kind of dive deeper into and look at these different aspects, and making it more clinically accessible is obviously very important so that people don't have to, either drive a long way or pay to come to these research institutes, which since our cameras are super expensive. So if we can kind of improve that, I think that can kind of improve the field as a whole.
Reporting for the Newsfeed, I'm Ben Anderson.
With the end of the semester approaching, graduating seniors are looking to create lasting memories of their time at Virginia Tech. Many graduates hire photographers to take their senior portraits. Student photographers are taking advantage of the graduation season to build their portfolios and pad their wallets by starting senior portrait businesses. Seniors typically pose for camera in their cap and gown in front of iconic landmarks around campus. Self-taught student photographer Rachel Fandon says she started out her photography business by taking senior portraits for her friends.
It's just a celebration of how far they've come, because I know people would do high school portraits for graduation, but I feel like college is this big milestone, and it's one of those things you're going to share with your family, you're going to share with your friends.
Fandon charges $75 for an hour-long senior portrait session, but some student photographers charge up to $250 to shoot and edit senior portraits. Seniors say that hiring students is a cheaper alternative to expensive professional photos for this monumental time in their lives. The month of April brings full first month of spring, and with that, there are more opportunities for outdoor activities for people to occupy their time. One big activity that people around the New River Valley like to do is play golf. There are countless golf courses around the New River Valley, all the way up to Salem to all the way down near Pulaski. With the cold winter weather, people do not want to venture out. Therefore, courses do not get as much business during that season, although they are still open and do not get nearly as many golfers when the cold hits.
This year, that first weekend when it turned into the 70s, we played 105 players each day, and prior to that it was sort of hit and miss due to the weather. And since the weather's been nicer, our play does increase when the weather gets nicer.
Accessible courses in Blacksburg include the Virginia Tech Golf Course and The Hill, which is reopening after renovations on May 1st. And there are plenty more opportunities for outing in the New River Valley. Just ahead on the news feed, how Virginia Tech grounds crew prep for a busy weekend on campus.
And why the Duck Pond Ducks are leaving their home and venturing towards student-populated areas. That story and more after this break.
Dad. I need your help asking Jessica to prom.
Of course. Love is like the ocean. You have to tread the
Oh,
waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Hey, Jessica. Will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
Welcome back to the newsfeed. I'm Josh Gann.
And I'm Emily Maher.
It's springtime here at Virginia Tech, and what better way to kick off a fun-filled weekend than with some Hokie events? But before we get too far, let's take a look into how Virginia Tech prepares behind the scenes with their campus upkeep. Landscaping, mowing, mulching, you name it, Virginia Tech's groundkeeping crew works diligently around the clock to keep campus at its best shape year-round. With special events like the annual 3.2 for 32 5K race and the football spring game, extra preparations are made to have campus picture perfect. Grounds crew manager Bo Frazier took the time to speak about his team's preparations, which to our surprise begin in February each year.
So for us, we started probably back in about February in preparation. And the big part of that is mulching all over campus. Obviously there's events throughout the year, but yes, a lot of times that it all requires some type of preparation, whether that be with the trash and the recycling piece of that, because you got to think, you have all these visitors coming, well, they bring a lot of trash and things like that.
Trash cans, parking signs, even additional fence setup are all part of the crew's behind-the-scenes duties. Our beautiful campus has them to thank for it all.
On a more serious note, did you know that every 2 seconds someone in America needs blood? Or that one blood donation can save up to 3 lives? American Red Cross is in need of blood volunteers every single day. Although donating blood can be crucial when saving someone else's life, it can also be used to save your own. Frequent blood donor and Blacksburg resident Michael Faust explains how.
If you have an issue or something, the only person in a lot of cases that can donate is you. And so you're helping not only yourself in the future, but also other people who are unable to for various reasons.
Interested in becoming a blood donor? Visit redcrossblood.org and download the Red Cross Donor app to schedule an appointment. With this nice spring weather, local wildlife is now beginning to appear around campus.
Newsfeed reporter Sydney Detmar joins us in the studio to discuss the most common animal found on Virginia Tech's campus, ducks. Sydney?
Thanks, Josh and Emily. It's that time of the season when the weather gets nice and everyone begins venturing outdoors, including some of our local wildlife. The ducks from the duck pond are no exception to these occasional outings, and I was curious to see as to why they venture so far onto campus only around this time of the year.
As the weather is warming up, Blacksburg wildlife is starting to come out and say hello, including our friendly duck pond ducks, who sometimes venture further from the duck pond than normal around this time of year.
I was curious to see as to why all of these ducks are going from the duck pond all the way onto different parts of campus.
And also having a free source of food during a period in which they are vulnerable or they are requiring higher level of food to incubate and also to produce the eggs.
Along with needing food, the ducks also have an issue with overpopulation around the duck pond area.
They're now not as scared of humans as they used to be. So now they can venture out more. They used to have their own space in the pond, but now they're getting more, comfortable with having humans around.
We will be seeing more of these cute little guys and maybe some baby ducks as well when it's time for them to hatch.
These cute little critters were so fun to see, and we will definitely be seeing more of them as the year goes on. I'm Sydney Ditmar, back to you at the news desk.
If you've been to the Kroger on South Main, there's a good chance you've been offered instant savings by using an app called Moochoo. It's not a hoax, it's a new online payment app taking Virginia Tech by storm, called Moochoo. Riding the wave of cashless payment apps, Moochoo is a rewards-style app similar to Apple Pay, but includes a kickback-style rewards program for spending money at select stores. The app focuses on college students and has focused their efforts around college campuses across the country. For more on the benefits for college students, Aaron Clagg, Virginia Tech student, shares his experience.
Up to this point, I've saved about $50 just through using the app and going. Basically, my two main places were through Kroger and through Kroger Fuel. But when you spend $50 there and you get to save $7, it makes a big difference at the end of the day, and it adds up over time.
In addition to monetary savings, rewards span from free wireless headphones to free Chipotle burritos. As this is still a rising trend, it still remains to be seen this will be something that catches on.
That will wrap up this edition of the Newsfeed. If you have a story idea for the Newsfeed, let us know. Send us an email at thenewsfeednrv@gmail.com. And as always, you can also connect with the Newsfeed on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for watching. I'm Josh Gann.
And I'm Emily Marr.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Roll A, take A.
Hello, and thanks for joining us for this edition of the Newsfeed. I'm Maddie Praver.
And I'm Rebecca Putas.
Over the last several years, a team of 50 Virginia Tech undergraduate students have been working to develop a satellite that will be launched into space on April 17th. Students from the College of Engineering and the College of Science developed a CubeSat, which is a cube-shaped nanosatellite at the Center for the Space Science Research. This project has provided students from all different engineering backgrounds with crucial hands-on experience in both spacecraft design and manufacturing. The satellite will obtain measurements of the Earth's atmosphere at a low orbit. A unique feature of the satellite is a side panel created out of 3D printed material. CubeSat team leader Madison Broadnax shares her experience.
We had to overcome this part where we bricked our motherboard. Our motherboard was like totally, nothing could get in or out of it, I guess, like data-wise, because of like this chip on board that we accidentally bricked. So we had to start that from scratch all over again. So just like overcoming all those little challenges just makes like the final product that much sweeter, you know.
Although CubeSats are small, they are packed with a motherboard, a global positioning system unit, radio, solar panels, and a power system. The satellite will be headed to the International Space Station on April 17th.
Effective for the 2019-2020 academic year, Virginia Tech's Board of Visitors has voted to freeze tuition for in-state undergraduate students. This is a huge change from the past decade, which has seen a huge increase in tuition and applicable fees. Newsfeed reporter Missy Powell has more on this story.
Thanks to a unanimous vote by the Virginia Tech Board of Visitors, resident undergraduate students will not have an increase in tuition for the 2019-2020 academic year. Assistant Vice President of University Relations, Mark Ozarski, elaborates on how this decision solidifies the founding principles of the university.
As a state university, Virginia Tech was founded as a way to provide access and ability for a whole generation of people coming out of the Civil War
This decision was made by the Board of Visitors after the Virginia General Assembly approved the 2019 In-State Undergraduate Affordability Initiative, which will designate $52.5 million of in-state funding for public universities that voluntarily maintain tuition and mandatory fees for resident undergraduate students to the 2019 fiscal year level. This program will help protect low and middle income students from rising tuition and fees, like Virginia Tech junior Jem Duran.
My scholarship covers a fixed amount, like when I came into school, and like with the inflation of tuition, it's not covering that, so I have to take out like more.
Virginia Tech will also be allocating an additional $5 million in resources towards financial aid programs for the next year, increasing the total institutional support to $55 million for the upcoming academic year. Reporting for the newsfeed, I'm Missy Powell.
Virginia Tech has long been known for its reputation as a top-of-the-line school in the field of construction. But as funds continue to pour into the school, students are given an even further opportunity to experiment with the complex tools of their trade. Newsfeed reporter Andrew Alex has more. Andrew?
Thanks, Rebecca. Anybody who spent time on Virginia Tech's campus would recognize the familiar sight of construction. What many don't know is that there's a place where Virginia Tech's top-of-the-line construction students get a chance to get real-world experience in their field. I went to Bishop Favreau Hall to see what it's all about.
When you step into Virginia Tech's Bishop Favreau Hall, you might think the building is still under construction. And while the building was completed in 2007, even to this day, there's always a project to be done. Bishop Favreau houses Virginia Tech's world-renowned Meyer School of Construction, and inside of it, construction students get to learn in a different kind of classroom. Since 2013, the Build Lab has allowed building construction students to get the type of hands-on applied learning experience that you simply cannot get sitting behind a desk.
The project so that you use a variety of the tools that are in the lab, the different saws, the 3D laser printer. You know, you're using nails, you're using screws, you're using drills.
Featuring a hodgepodge of equipment that includes everything from drills and saws to laser engravers and 3D printers, the Build Lab makes the study of construction a whole lot more interactive. Between in-class projects and personal projects, students use the Build Lab to gain the kind of valuable experience and knowledge that will help them in the real world.
Gets people more of an idea of what they're going into on a construction site, and honestly, it's a lot of collaboration too. You get to work with each other, get to get hands-on, and you make some good friends down here building projects with each other.
And it's safe to say that one day, when those students are managing construction sites across the country, they'll be thankful that they had the opportunity to get hands-on experience during their time here at Virginia Tech. I'm Andrew Alex reporting. Back to you at the news desk.
Just ahead on the newsfeed, local organizations are helping students repurpose and transform their unwanted items this spring.
And how major stadium renovations will give both fans and players a fresh start. That story and more after the break.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, "Read your lease. No pets allowed." My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be?
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Welcome back to the newsfeed. I'm Rebecca Putas.
And I'm Maddie Praver.
The Clay Corner Inn, Blacksburg only bed and breakfast, has recently been revived and reopened under new ownership. Located just a block from Virginia Tech's campus, the inn is a staple within the community and represents a home away from home for all of its guests. The Clay Corner Inn has been a bed and breakfast in Blacksburg for nearly 2 decades, with 2 previous owners. The newest owners purchased the property and reopened it in March. Modernization and maintaining a relationship with the community are the priorities in the new era of this inn, while still preserving the unique establishment's exceptional reputation. Recent upgrades to the inn include installation of electronic docks on the doors, along with converting some of the junior suites into full suites, with plans to upgrade the pool area and potentially expand the amount of parking spaces in the future.
Every year, as the spring semester draws to a close, many students, both on and off campus, find themselves with unwanted and gently used items in perfectly good condition. Organizations like YTOS and the YMCA help students repurpose their dorm or apartment decor, and thrift stores like Plato's Closet provide options for reselling clothing items. Newsfeed reporter Casey Molina has more on what these organizations do to give clothing and other items a second home.
From closet purges to dorm room cleanouts, the close of spring semester means Virginia Tech students looking for a way to lighten their loads and prepare for their trek home for the summer. Organizations on and around Virginia Tech's campus provide students resources for repurposing their gently used clothing and apartment and dorm decor, including student-led initiative YTOS.
We collect gently used items from students who are moving out of the residence halls, repurpose them, store them over the summer, and then have a sale at the beginning of the fall semester.
In addition to donation options, thrift stores like Plato's Closet, located in Christiansburg, allow you to make money for giving your belongings a second home. The store has a clothing drop-off and sort station, allowing potential clothing sellers to be paid in cash for their items. YTOS student coordinator Sophia Jorgensen talks about the importance of donating used items.
By publicizing these options, by offering another avenue for people to get rid of their stuff and a way that can be reused and repurposed, I feel like it just gives people that extra opportunity to make a better decision with their stuff.
From organizations like YTOS to donation centers like the YMCA and consignment shops like Plato's Closet, packing up for the end of the year can mean donating to a good cause or making extra money off of your used items. From Blacksburg, Virginia, this is Casey Molina reporting.
Among college students, STDs are more prevalent than most would like to think. On Virginia Tech's campus, the Hokie Wellness Department does a lot to ensure that students are being smart and know how to prevent STDs and become more aware of the dangers of them. 1 in 2 sexually active people will get an STD before the age of 25. Hokie Wellness offers contraceptive workshops, STI prevention workshops, and one-on-one conversations with certified students if they have specific questions. Appointments can be made for students who want to learn more about STDs but don't want to do it in a public classroom setting. Anyone can make an appointment with Lori Fritish, a professional health educator, to have an open conversation about the questions they have. Many students are unsure on how to actually protect themselves from STDs.
There are several factors that students should keep in mind. The first one, of course, is use a condom consistently and correctly every time. The second one is get tested with each new partner, or hopefully prior to each new partner. That's good.
Lori strongly believes that one of the most important conversations to have with your partner is your STD status. Whether it's an old or new partner, it's crucial to learn as much as possible and be able to communicate effectively.
The 2019 season for the Pulaski Yankees is approaching quickly, and their ballpark is currently under massive construction to their general admission seating area. Calfee Park originally proposed their new features last summer. However, they have recently changed them. The work is currently ongoing and under to meet their first home game last June. Newsfeed reporter Emily Ball has more on the story.
Motor Mile Field at Calfee Park, home for the Pulaski Yankees, is underway with major construction plans to their third baseline and left field. Last summer, the Yankees announced the renovation coming to the ballpark in the near future. These plans included 675 added seats, a new upper concourse, a new concession stand, additional restrooms, and a party deck. Since the 2018 season ended, management changed, and so did the plans.
It was a very good plan. It was one that would have added a lot to the ballpark, but we thought that we could do a little bit more in some experiential areas.
The new plan includes around 350 new seats along the third baseline with 30 companion seats and 11 new boxes. The concourse will be behind the current seating to help with accessibility and will feature a sunshade canopy.
We think adding the party deck will be a whole new experience for folks, whether they're young professionals or a little bit older on. Everyone 21 and up will be able to access the party deck just through a GA ticket.
With the main goal at Calfee Park being to enhance the fan experience for everyone, it leaves past employees excited to see the future changes.
I believe that it'll bring more people in from more areas who want to experience this more upper level sporting experience.
The 2019 project alone is approximately $2 million.
The new construction has been going on since earlier this year, and it's projected to be completed by June 21st for the Yankees' opening home game with the Bluefield Blue Jays. Reporting for the Newsfeed, I'm Emily Ball.
That will wrap up this edition of the Newsfeed. If you have a story idea for the Newsfeed, let us know. Send us an email at thenewsfeednrv@gmail.com. And as always, you can also connect with us on the Newsfeed on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for watching. I'm Rebecca Putas.
And I'm Maddie Praver.